But my experience is that the demo was very important in the beginning and getting set up and scoring a new contact, but once you were in, less so.
Okay. Okay, so, a lot of people are also worried about, the mistakes they could make because, they've never had the experience, it's a new environment for them. It's really exciting. It's really nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
What are some of the few do's and don'ts, when you're doing voiceover or, something that you'd like to tell the amateurs out there?
Well, be polite, be gracious. You can be afraid, but try not to act afraid or seem afraid. Fake it till you make it. Mary Elizabeth McGlynn told that to me, and she didn't write it either. She told me someone told it to her, but act like you belong. Don't be like, oh my God, I'm here. Thank you for letting me be here. Freaking out in your own skin. Just fake it till you make it. Act like you belong, and soon you will belong. Make people smile, which doesn't mean go into a 10-minute comedy routine, but, try not to be stiff. Try to, have a laugh with the people you're working with. They'll remember that. That'll help you stand out. If you're following up with people, don't be incessant about it. Send them a note maybe a week later if it's, your first time meeting them, saying, I really liked coming in. Thanks so much. Hope you'll keep me in mind. And then maybe every 3 or 4 months, if you have something worth reporting about, drop them another note, but don't every 2 weeks be saying, do you have any projects? You got any projects? I'd love to come in for a project. That'll sort of turn people off.
Right.
And be sane. You'd be surprised how many people are just weird when they come in or, I don't know, like have an attitude. You really wouldn't think you'd come across it, but you do. Just, again, I've said it already, but just be gracious and be affable, be pleasant.
All right. Also, you're a director, you're a writer, and you're an actor. How do you balance that? I know you're writing for Naruto. When do you find time to do that? Actually, in fact, how did you get started in, adapting Naruto?
Well, that came from, all right. First question was, how do I pull it off? I pull it off, by not sleeping a lot. And that has a lot to do with having 2 small children, but, things are probably a little tighter right now in the industry. Certainly the anime bubble is burst and that work has shrunk. And, there's some of my comrades in the mafia are a little like, it's a little tight these days. I'm kind of like a Swiss Army knife, so my philosophy is just to be overextended and take work whenever it comes and try not to say no. If I can pull it off, that means, staying up late, sometimes trying to get a script done. But, it's not flipping burgers. I joke about my eyes glazing over writing 800 episodes of Naruto, but I love it. I love the show. I love the manga. I love the series. I'm a huge, for all my advice to say don't fanboy out on producers and casting directors, I'm a huge fan. The way I got in was through the voice acting. When I got to Los Angeles, I started auditioning for a company called New Generation.
Oh, yeah.
It's run by Jonathan Klein and his partner Reiko. And I auditioned for a year. I started acting for them. And I guess I seemed like I had a good head on my shoulders because after a while, I was asked if I wanted to try first adapting and then adapting and directing all together on a show. And I just said yes. Again, fake it till you make it. And I did several series for them. I adapted and directed Gunsword for them. I adapted and directed Deers. And probably my favorite of all time is Koi Kaze, which is a slit your wrists, depressing series about incest. And then I moved from there I had a short stint on Bleach. This Studiopolis does Bleach, and did about 5 or 6 episodes for them, and I think they liked what I was doing, so they shunted me over to Naruto after that, and it's just, kept going from there. And I find time to write for other shows. I did a little on Code Geass, and I've directed probably 5 or 6 games, and Well, maybe more than that by now. Directed Resident Evil 5's voiceover with Stephanie Shea. She and I sort of split directing duties on the VO for that. But again, it's all the same community. It's one big sandbox, and I'm just, happy and feel blessed to be working in it.
That's great. Wow. Okay. All right. You also direct. Now, since you're a director, I wanted to get a small glimpse of, your work as a director. When you're working, do you, who do you work with? Is it just, the actors, or do you also, work with the sound engineers, or how's it going?
I work with engineers, but I don't have anything to do with the mixing per se. I mean, I've sat in for finished product and saying, could you pull that line up a bit, pull that line down a bit? I haven't done that in a while. New gen, I would sort of, approve final mix. But you'll have an actor in the booth. You'll have your sound engineer who's working Pro Tools. We use a program called Pro Tools, and you talk into a mic and you see little tiny squiggly sound waves for where the voice is, and you can cut that stuff up and slide it left and slide it right and make it fit better.
Cool.
So you got your engineer, and oftentimes with anime, that's it. That's just your engineer, and an actor. Sometimes for anime, you'll have a producer sit in, particularly in the beginning. They'll want to make sure that it's matching their expectations, or that it sort of jives with the Japanese version. Mm-hmm. For games, you will almost always have a producer there. In the game industry, producers are much more involved. I've worked on microphone, and there's just a row of men from Japan sitting in the control room, watching and going, skoshimo, and I'll be told, faster, or whatever the note is. And that's it. That's it, really.
Wow. Okay. If you were to give, one piece of advice to everyone right now before we close, what would you want to say?
I'll just say, if this is what you want, if this is what you dream of doing, chase it. You've only got 70 to 100 years on Earth, so just chase it and reiterate what I said earlier, which is fake it till you make it. Go for your dreams and act like you belong, and slowly they'll be made reality. And be patient. It takes time.
All right. Okay. So this is our sneak peek part, where just curious if you're allowed to tell us, but as a voice actor, what are you going to be working on next?
Okay. I have to sort of scan in my brain what I'm allowed to talk about and what I'm not allowed to talk about. I can tell you stuff that I've recently recorded and you'll be hearing soon. Darksiders, which is a video game sort of created by the comic book artist Joe Mad, comes out in January, I believe. January as of now, and I'm playing War, one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse. I'm an angel.
Wow.
You can find all kinds of stuff online. Look at GameTrailers.com, that kind of thing. We're going to start recording season 2 of Wolverine and the X-Men pretty soon. Let me see. What else? What else can I talk about? I'm playing the lead in a very big anime series that I'm not allowed to talk about. I think the show has been announced. Maybe you all will find out soon.
Okay.
We finish recording the whole series probably next week.
Wow.
We've been at it for quite a while. You'll be hearing me selling nuts on TV pretty soon.
So, last thing, do you have a website people could, go to if they wanted to know more about you?
Absolutely. You can go to liamobrien.biz, and you can look up Voice of O'Brien. Voice of O'Brien, all one word, either on Facebook or on Twitter. I'm a tech head and active on both, and will say hi. But resumes, demos, stuff like that, that's all on liamobrien.biz.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, again, thank you for being with us today and making this interview possible. Yeah. All right, you guys. This is Team Vox, and talk to you guys later.
Thanks, everybody.